I had a strange dream last night, in between window dreams, where I was in Ocean City, but Ocean City just looked like Cockeysville kind of, and it was just like a long road, and like every now and then there would be something, and my car broke down, and this dream is not gonna make any sense, so don't even try to follow it.
Okay.
And I remember I caught 2 pet pelicans, but the pelicans weren't pelicans. They were little, like dragon black looking things that were like the size of your hand, and they looked kind of like that Pokemon. Remember, what was that Pokemon that it was like one in the second gen? It was like a mysterious bird, and it was like a white one.
Oh, Lugia.
Lugia. It looked like black Lugias that were like this big, and I had 2 of them.
Ooh.
And then I was on this journey. I was being chased by an older woman. On foot.
About 45 years old. Kind of looked like my neighbor.
On foot. And turns out, and she was
She just wanted guitar lessons.
I was running and she was chasing me in a Nissan Murano, which is that a car?
I don't fucking know.
Who knows? It was like an SUV, sports. It was an SUV, like a hatchback. And she chased me, and I'm running, classic dream situation. I'm not running very fast. And I finally escape. And then I'm like, but wait, where's my car? Because I got to be at a gig at Backyard Towson in like 30 minutes. And I'm all the way in Ocean City, which looks like Cockeysville. I don't have a car. So it's nighttime, and I walk all the way up to like 145th Street, and which is just the only thing on 145th Street is a body shop, like a towing place. I walk in, he's like, that's your car. And I was like, that's not my car. That's the older woman's car that was just chasing me, dude. And he's like, oh, that's not it? Oh, that's your car. And then he points to my Altima, and my Altima is burned to a fucking crisp. I'm like, dude, how the fuck am I going to get to my gig, bro? So then I'm walking back. I'm walking to Baltimore now. I'm walking to Baltimore. 2 pelicans fly.
I only have 20 minutes now.
I'm never going to get there in time. I still got to set up. How am I going to explain this? How am I going to explain
My
this?
stuff was in the car.
It's burned to a crisp, dude. All I have are these 2 pet pelicans that aren't pelicans. They're little black dragons. And I'm walking back, and my mom is in the middle of the road, and she's like, where are you going? I'm like, Mom, I'm late for a gig. I don't have time for this. She's like, this is exactly why your pelicans are dead. And I look down, my pelicans are dead. And I'm like, God damn it, Mom. What the fuck? So I'm like, Mom, whatever. So I keep walking. I find 2 more pelicans.
Perfect.
I find 2 more pelicans. And I'm like, see, I showed them. I got them. And I was like, all right, I'm good to go. And now I'm in like Philadelphia. I don't know why I'm in Philadelphia. I'm in like some weird back street.
You went too far. You walked too far by accident.
Wrong direction, dude. And I'm like, well, at least I proved my mom wrong. I got these 2 pelicans. And then suddenly I'm in my basement, and my mom peeps around the corner, and she's like, no, you don't. And I look down, and on the basement floor, both my pelicans are squashed like cave crickets on the basement floor.
Oh.
And I was like, and I woke up. And the whole day, I've been thinking, what could this mean? Why were pelicans dragons? Why was my mom talking so much smack?
I don't know, dude. She's got it out for you.
Oh, dude, it's been really sticking with me all day. I don't know.
That was vivid.
Vivid. Dude, I have those types of dreams where it changes your vibe the whole day. And I don't know if you've had this as well, but I have dream settings that are always the same. Like, I return to the same places all the time. They're always familiar. Like, my dream version of Ocean City is always the same. It's always a very long road with not a lot going on, with like a bar that's never open, like a tavern. I'm always in a parking lot behind a bar, and I'm always the only one, and like there's just random characters. I never have a good dream there. And then like I never have a good dream in Ocean City. And like, but I return to the same places all the time. There's a warehouse I always wind up in. It's the same place. It's like my mind has like a dream world.
Yeah.
And I'm never in a place I don't know. I'll have a dream like once a year where I'm in that same spot all the time. And then different shit happens. And this time it was an Ocean City dream. And then it's like, you know, all the cities that I go to, it's always my weird dream version of them. And they're always very like shit. I never have, any dream I remember sucks. I'm sure I have good dreams.
Yeah, but the ones where like something memorable happens always is like oh fuck.
They're always
like wake up real quick out of it.
Desolate and like scary and, oddly familiar. And so I've been thinking about the metaphor. Honestly, I think it means that I should stop smoking cigs. That's what I've gathered. I woke up with this sudden feeling that I shouldn't be smoking cigarettes. I don't know why, but that's what I took from it.
There you go. Do you think the little 2 black little pelicans, are those maybe your lungs?
Yes.
Maybe.
That's exactly what I thought.
Ooh.
And my mom over the weekend just casually was like, I smoked a cig. She was like, don't lose that voice. And I was like, and then in my dream, she's talking about my pelicans dying.
Ooh. What if that's your voice then?
That's what I think it was, dude. No coincidence that I had to show up to a gig in that dream.
Yeah, true. What do you think the car means then? And who is the lady?
There's a lot of holes in this story I got to fill out, dude.
Why is there a mechanic shop on the boardwalk?
Dude, I don't know.
Does like the garage open up to the boardwalk? That's what I was imagining.
No, it's if you could picture what's in my mind, you would hate it. You would hate it. That's the only way I can describe it. It's not nice. It's just a dark, wide road with nothing on either side. Nothing.
It's like what's in SpongeBob when he gets like dropped off at the end of the bus line? Rock bottom.
Yes.
So like rock bottom.
Very similar to that.
Ooh.
You can't see anything on either side. All you see is a sidewalk and a road. If you look to your right or you look to your left, it's just a haze.
Yeah, it's like Silent Hill.
Yeah. And I'm just walking up this road in a haze. And then every now and then I'll see a little beacon point, and it's just like, it's not anything beach related ever. It's just, but for some reason, my mind is just convinced that's Ocean City. Just like I was convinced that these little dragons in my hand were pelicans.
Yeah.
I really think that does add up, dude. Because I remember in my dream thinking that these pelicans were like, it was like I remember being like, oh my God, I got like a blessing. It was like a blessing. Like I remember being like, yes, I got them. And then they kept on going away.
Kept on dying.
Dude, these
Whenever
things,
you stop paying attention to them.
Yep. Mm-hmm. These things stick with me, dude. So, I mean, obviously not enough. I'm smoking a cigarette now, but
That's all I could think about when you're saying that. You're like, I think I'm saying I shouldn't smoke cigs. You're gesturing a lighter and a cig around. It's like when we had the hypnotist on the show, and I videotaped him hypnotizing you to stop smoking cigarettes. And then we watched it cackling as you were lighting up a cig when he left.
Do you have that though? What I just described, like, do you have recurring places?
I've definitely like I feel like more often than not I'll end up in like a familiar place in a dream. And obviously like like your brain tries to recreate a thing, but it's never going to be perfect, or like unless like you're having like a school dream and like everything's like pretty much perfect, like essentially like you kind of it gives a good replication of it or whatever in your mind. But I've also had like I thought you were gonna go into a thing where it's like you almost pick up where you left off in a dream.
That's exactly what I was gonna go to.
Too, yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's almost like
it's like you're like tuning back into that like episode or whatever.
Yes.
Like right on the dot. I've had that before.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's like two separate lives.
Yeah,
First of all, you're sleeping 1/3 of your life. So 2/3 of my life I exist in this realm, and the other third of my life, it's like a continuing story in this other realm where the places are the same that I frequent, nowhere that I would recognize in real life.
Yeah.
But they're always the same in my dream.
But
And
also,
the storyline
like,
continues.
is that constant too, or is it like I feel like I don't know, because I don't like remember a lot of dreams to begin with, just because I don't know why. But like whenever I do remember a dream, I feel like those like pick up where you left off type dreams are like few and far between for me.
Well, a lot of times,
I feel like I feel like more of the times than not, like I'll just have like a random dream where like I probably even talked about this on the podcast, but one of the most bizarre dreams I ever had was it was like a talent show, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like a big auditorium. I guess it kind of looked like a mix between like Towson High School and the Hippodrome.
Hell yeah.
And like me and like it looks like I'm a magician.
Yes.
And I walk out with like the assistant, and she just like gets on the ground and opens her legs.
Hell yeah.
And I just eat pussy on like a stage
For my next trick.
for literally like, an audience of like 300 to 400 people. And then like I'm doing it, and I look over in the crowd, and I see like my whole family in a row, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But like I feel like more times than not, like a dream will just be fucking random like that. But like every once in a while I will have that like pick up where you left off. Like this is like the same kind of like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you pick up that save.
It's like a Tarantino movie where it's like my dreams will connect but not in sequence. Like I'll have a dream and then I'll have another dream that connected to a dream from like 3 years prior. And like the last time I dreamt about that setting was about 3 or 4 years ago. I remember that because I wrote it down in my notes. I write my dreams down in my notes sometimes. And it was the same exact place. I referred to it as Ocean City in that place. And I remember that. I'm always running late for I remember I was at some weird pubby bar.
Well, that was also back when like you'd do a gig down on the boardwalk and then try to like rush home after it.
And I remember there was like a party bus that I just missed. I just missed the party, and that bus was going back to Baltimore. And I was stuck there. And it's always something like that. And it's like that will like within over the course of 3 years, I'll just pop right back in that scene again. And it's like that happens all the time, dude. I think there's significance to that. I really do.
I mean, I feel
really
like
do.
that might just be more so of a thing of like you having anxiety about being like late to things.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely. There's no mystery there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm late a lot to everything I do. But it would be, I really do look at that stuff as like, I think it should not be. What I don't believe in is when people go, and this is kind of the same situation when people talk about their drug experiences, which is, you know how when people say like you do DMT and then you see like a purple dragon or whatever the fuck it is, or you see these little creatures or whatever. I don't believe in that stuff only because I think that you might only be seeing them because you've heard that that's what you're supposed to see. And
I have heard like one comic talk about this though with like DMT, and he's not like, I feel like some people when they talk about that shit, they're like, oh, fucking, you know, like I was looking down and I saw blah, blah, blah. And like it gets too crazy. But like, I think it's Shane Moss, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But he was talking about like he would see like this woman like in the DMT world whenever he'd go there. And like it's like a very like to the point description of like a person, what they look like, their features or whatever. And then like randomly like his friend sent him like an illustration of that woman one day and was like, hey, like, is this the woman you saw? And he's like, holy shit, like that is literally her.
that just gave me chills.
And like there's apparently like a bunch of people have like done DMT and like speaking or like spoken to that woman or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we should look that up after the podcast. We can wrap up soon, honestly.
Yeah. I was just going to say that the only, I brought up the drug thing is because when people go online and be like, what does it mean in your dream if this happens?
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know if that, like, they'll be like, what happens, like, if I were to go online and be like, what does it mean if you have a pet pelican?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if that would mean the same thing to every person.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of an exploration of yourself. I don't think that what a dream might symbolize for one person might symbolize the same thing. Like, it'd be like finding a pelican in a dream usually symbolizes that something in the near future is gonna. It's like maybe it does. Maybe that means that for this guy.
Yeah.
But that might not be the same thing for me. You know, I will say one very strange experience that just happened was my brother walked in to the living room. And I wish I could remember the whole story. It's eluding me at the moment. But it was a place. And he said, yeah, it's funny because like literally like 2 nights ago, I had this dream where we were in this place and we had to do this thing. And I was like, wait, when did you have that dream? He said, 2 nights ago. I said, dude, I had that dream last night. We were in the same place. He was in it. I was in it. Different nights.
Oh, shit.
Different nights, but when he said it, I was like, you're not going to fucking believe him. I swear to God, it was like a bar or something. We were in it, And he was there. He was he was just there. I don't even know if I talked to him. I just remember, like, you know how you can just sense, like, oh, Dom's here.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And when how do you explain that? What the fuck is that? Is it a coincidence? Probably.
Maybe.
But,
yeah.
like, that's fucking weird.
Well, I mean, it's definitely weird, but also like it could be explained away by being like, you guys like live in a close proximity. You probably like get a lot of the same stimulus or like stimuli from like your environment, or like maybe you guys were both talking about going to that bar or some shit. And
Yeah.
Then, like that was just in the back of both of your heads or whatever.
Or it's like that other episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah, I like to think that. I like to think that it's more so of like a, dream weaving type scenario.
Yeah.
Or I mean, that's why Freddy Krueger is so cool, because it's like he can just hop in and out of your fucking dream and get you.
Yeah.
That's why, like, that's such a cool concept.
As realist as I like to think I am, those things I do not write them off. I do not write them off. I think there has to be some weight to this other plane that we're connected to on a subconscious level, where those things can either intertwine or they can be linked to the real world in some way or another.
Yeah.
I definitely believe that, which is why I don't write off those drug experiences entirely. I do want to try DMT. And,
yeah, eventually. I'll definitely try that one day.
Hell yeah. That might be a next bachelor trip move.
For Dan's 20th bachelor trip.
Yeah. None of us are getting married, dude. Dan needs to get married again. He's already getting married 3 times.
I know.
Get married again, dude.
There's already a track record in place, so just keep riding it out.
Hey, man. DMT, baby.